Emily Diardo loves a good book, but it's her own life that's become a story of courage and inspiration. Emily looked like a typical kid, but almost from the start, she faced medical challenges. First, there were seizures. Then, at age 11, a diagnosis of cystic fibrosis, a life-threatening chronic lung disease.
I looked it up in our encyclopedia at home, like when we got back, but I sort of read it and was like, okay, well, I'm 11, and this is talking about like 30-year-olds, and so whatever. It really didn't faze me all that much. It was just sort of like, all right, next.
That optimism followed Emily through high school and on to college. Despite her spunky attitude, Emily was suffering frequent and severe lung infections, requiring weeks in the intensive care unit at Columbus Children's Hospital. Her childhood pulmonologist, Dr. Karen McCoy, talked about the next steps.
I knew that transplant was, it was a possibility, but it was one of those things where it's like, well, that's, step 70,000, and I'm only on, step 109.
Or so she thought. Declining lung function put Emily on the transplant list at age 23. Now she had to prepare emotionally for what would lie ahead.
But you really can't teach them the emotions that they're going to go through. Before transplant, when they get the call telling them we have organs for transplant. And that's really the difficult part of this. No matter how much we teach beforehand, it really, they have to learn as they go along through the experience, and that's part of our job, is to really coach them through this.
Emily didn't have long to prepare. Within weeks of being listed, she got the call to head for Children's.
And they said, well, what are you here for? Like, they're looking through the papers, and I said, I'm the transplant girl. And they're like, oh, that's you. Yeah, that's me.
So began the next chapter in Emily's life. She would become the first double lung transplant at Columbus Children's Hospital. Children's transplant team had to work quickly. Lungs must be transplanted within 6 hours of procurement, so coordination is key. An out-of-state donor was a perfect match for Emily's rare blood type and small frame. As monumental as the 12-hour surgery was for Emily, it was just as pivotal for Children's.
Really, this transplant is a culmination of a comprehensive effort over the last 2 to 3 years to develop a transplant program to provide care for all patients with congenital lung and heart-lung disease, regardless of their age.
8 days post-transplant, Children's announced Emily's success and talked about the challenges of her surgery.
Also, because of those many years of infection and scarring, the operation itself can be quite formidable to get through all the scarring and get the old diseased lungs out.
Her parents shared how weak Emily had become.
Just to get ready and try to go to work, she was already exhausted before she even could get into the car.
But 3 weeks later, an emotionally and energized Emily signed her release papers.
It's going to be a big day, and it'll be interesting to see what life is like at home now that I have lungs to work.
She set the pace as she walked out of Children's, thankful for the place and the people that cared for her from childhood to adult transplant.
What they like to say in the clinics is about the continuity of care, which it totally is. I mean, you're with people that have known you, in some cases, your entire life. You're comfortable with them, you have rapport, there's trust.
When we first met Emily, she was still spunky, she was still as cute as ever, but she lacked a little zest because of tiredness. Of course, like most CF patients that are, towards the point of transplant, she was short of breath and probably needing oxygen, and she just lacked a little spunk, and now she definitely has spunk and then some.
Today, Emily enjoys life, her family, her friends, and her work at the State House. She appreciates the simple things like walking to the mailbox.
And I never could have lived on my own before transplant. Climbing stairs just didn't happen. Things like making my bed didn't happen. How hard is it to make your bed? Well, it's hard when you've got, 20% lung function.
Emily's passion for living almost takes your breath away, especially when she starts dreaming of the still unwritten chapters of her life.
I can do what I want when I want, and I mean, there are some exceptions. I think if I told Dr. Astor I wanted to go climb Mount Everest, he wouldn't be too happy about that.